So I want you to imagine something for me. It's the year 2018. There is a YouTuber with a pretty good following, a pretty good sized fan base. And within a few months' time, this YouTuber starts acting strange, not like themselves. It eventually culminates into a giant ordeal where news outlets and YouTubers are theorizing what's going on with this person. Are they on drugs? Are they schizophrenic? Did ISIS kidnap him? Is she going through a breakup? What's going on with this person? You may or may not be surprised to know that this happened 2 years ago on this exact day.
Spooky shit, and of course a lot of bullshit going on in these past few days, all surrounding a YouTuber by the name of Marina Joyce. And as of right now, pretty much no one knows what the fuck is going on.
You guys don't actually know the backstory to the situation. Basically, Marina Joyce is a really big YouTuber, and she apparently has been acting very, very different the last couple months.
A lot of people at this point in time assumed that she was either going through a shitty relationship, going through a rough time period, or maybe just feeling a little bit down.
And a lot of her fans saw like a change in her personality, and a lot of her videos seem very forced, they seem very uptight, and people think that she basically was kidnapped. They think that she was held hostage.
This picture got out, and apparently according to a lot of people, this is the kidnapper, okay? This is the guy that has enslaved this YouTuber.
And like they were just forcing her to make videos for her YouTube channel.
Talk about today, it was the most requested story. It was the biggest story in social media over the past day. I knew it was going to be a big deal when it was my first story yesterday, but I had no idea it was going to be this big, and that was the Marina Joyce situation.
Everything she's done as well, it really does look like she used this whole situation. But honestly, man, I have no fucking idea.
And it's just this crazy, crazy conspiracy. And then there's also other conspiracies about her doing drugs and stuff like that.
"20 16 was a very different time, especially concerning YouTube. It was arguably a much better time, but that's a topic for a video for another day. I'm going to specifically be talking about the Marina Joyce situation, something that still has me scratching my head to this very day, because realistically, nobody really knows what happens. Even though there was a resolution eventually, it still has a lot of missing pieces. And that's why I'm doing this video, is to hopefully, finally put an end to this story, or at least to get some kind of idea of what really went down with Marina Joyce. Now, before the internet erupted about this whole thing, there was some build-up beforehand. Eagle-eyed fans of hers noticed that her personality began to shift. She started acting different, started acting strange. She started acting as though she had to force herself to make videos, which was very odd for her kind of personality. Not only that, there was sort of an eerie undertone to all of her videos during this time period, which definitely did not help the situation. At this point, people were analyzing her videos for hours on end, trying to find odd things about it, trying to find audio cues, and people think they found stuff like she had bars in her windows, or she said help me in a certain part of a video. They were pretty much finding any sort of indication if she was in any sort of danger. And with the paranoia building up, the internet took this and ran with the story. And all that was left now were for YouTubers to catch the story and make their videos about it and share their opinions. So in this section, I'm going to be diving into what YouTubers had to say about this, what they added to the conversation, starting with arguably the most influential creator in the year of 2016. Leafy is here. And as well, this is where I got my intro song, Coral Fumes by Glue 70, which I've been using ever since this video came out. So in this video, Leafy essentially explains what's going on with the whole situation, how a bunch of people are jumping on it all of a sudden, and how there's a bunch of conspiracies, and how there's a bunch of bullshit floating around. And basically he details a lot of different arguments and the points that they could have, and how nothing really adds up.
As many of you guys know, there's been a lot of crazy shit going down recently, involving tons and tons of different things, depending on who you ask. I mean, according to some people right now, a YouTuber was recently kidnapped by ISIS and was being held hostage while being forced to make YouTube videos so they could use her like bait like a goddamn fishing pole. According to some other people, a YouTuber has recently faked a hostage situation, all for attention on fucking YouTube. And of course, according to a lot of people, we're now witnessing a fucking Illuminati takeover as we speak. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this one really trips me out because I don't know if they're bars or not. Like, I look at that and it kind of looks like blinds to me, but I could also see them being bars as well. And the thing that sucks is because I don't live in the UK, I don't know if that's what most window bars look like. But you know, still, when I look at the window, it really does look like curtains or blinds.
While she is talking, you can hear a subtle voice say "help me" in almost a whisper. I'll also show you it slowed down.
It's the clothing company that I'm advertising, and this is the dress that I'm wearing.
Alright, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I think this one is just complete utter bullshit, okay? Like, to me, it just sounds like someone's getting a breath of air. No one's fucking saying, help me. A video of apparently Marina talking starts randomly floating around. Check this shit out.
Don't come here. It's a setup. People are chasing me. I'm hiding right now. Don't come here. They took 3 people. It's a setup. Don't come here.
So after this, everybody is freaking out. Well, Jesus Christ, what the fuck actually happened? Was it real? What was she like in the tweets? Did someone really kidnap her? Was ISIS involved? What was going on with the chains? What was going on? Okay, Leafy, what do you think of this whole thing? Holy shit! Well, first, what actually happened? Well, pretty much after 48 hours of everyone freaking out, news stations literally reporting on it, police being called multiple times, and countless amounts of YouTubers making videos about it, giving their support, after fucking 48 hours of that, Marina finally came forward just a few hours ago and did a few quick little interviews where she basically said that she's apparently completely fine and that this whole thing was just a huge misunderstanding. To me, there's really only 3 possibilities. She's either A, literally being held hostage by fucking ISIS, the Illuminati, and her ex-boyfriend. B, has some serious mental issues and has ass loads of drug abuse. Or C, she's used a situation in which millions and millions of people genuinely cared about her own well-being. And not only the situation as well, but also every single person that actually did care. She just fucking used them for attention on YouTube. And it's funny too, because I honestly don't know which one it is. If you do a little bit of research, there are some people saying that she might have schizophrenia. And one of her old friends even says that she thinks that she has schizophrenia. But at the same time, there is several people that have met her, used to be friends with her, or even still friends right now, that have made videos saying that she had some hardcore drug issues. And at the same time, if you look at everything she's done as well, it really does look like she used this whole situation. But honestly, man, I have no fucking idea.
Next up here we have Pyro's video. Now, Pyro's video mainly contains memes, and it kind of explains the more cynical side of things, how this could very well be fake, how people are profiting off of that, etc., etc.
Also, as a side note, she did a video with Comedy Shorts Gamer, which lowers her reputation by about 3 gigatons.
That's what you...
But anyways, I digress, because this YouTuber Marina, she is allegedly in some form of danger. This is what the internet thinks, so take that with a pinch of salt. Apparently Marina has acted incredibly uncomfortable in her latest videos and streams, acting like there's something that's clearly wrong with someone in the background. She's also randomly started to organise meetups after all this suspicious stuff has happened, which has made people really suspect that something's wrong. And because it's the fucking internet, people now think ISIS are involved. This is what the internet does. You literally look away from the camera for 2 human seconds and you're now with ISIS.
Hey guys, so today I'm
Stop! Enhance the image. My god. There's a sniper on the roof!
So as the majority of you have probably noticed at this point, Marina Joyce has become somewhat of a power vacuum. Literally every single YouTuber on the site is now talking about her, and some fuckers are even making multiple videos on her. And she'll look away from the camera and look absolutely fucking petrified. Like, seriously, there is pure terror in her face right there. And this has led to people analysing every single minute detail in her videos. It's literally reached the point where people will take 4-second clips of a Marina Joyce video, upload it with subtitles, apparently saying "help me," and get over 500,000 views. A lot of people instantly think that just because the police checked, everything's okay. It really isn't, and there could be a lot more bigger problems hiding. Now, a lot of people seem to be on the fence whether she is okay or she isn't okay, but no one seems to be looking more in the fact that this might all be absolute complete bullshit. In the past, YouTubers have faked drama or something very bad happening to them to get exposure, growth, subscribers, all that stuff, and it has always worked without fail. And Marina Joyce may be no exception to that. I mean, Jesus, look at her social blade. If this was some kind of stunt to promote her channel, it's worked perfectly, and she's now pretty much set for life.
About in this video essentially explains why she believes that Marina is not faking a single thing, and that she actually has schizophrenia. She's not on drugs or anything like that. She's just schizophrenic. And she also explains how Comedy Shorts Gamer also profited off of this entire situation, probably more than anybody, and in a more slimy way than anybody else.
I'm going to be discussing what's most likely wrong with Marina and what this cunt did during all the drama. Okay, I really didn't want to make a video about this because obviously when the Marina Joyce story blew up, every YouTuber wanted a part of it, but here I am making a video, so I can't really say shit, but I feel like I have something to add. I want to say that I'm completely sure that she is not faking anything. I'm sure most of you that have been keeping up with the story know that she did not pull a publicity stunt and that her fans were just concerned. They started a hashtag, blew things way out of proportion, and the media picked up on it, and then of course all the YouTubers did as well, which made everything even worse. But I'm 100% sure she did not fake anything, and here's why. Everything that Marina is saying about being a god, being able to use magic, lifting her spirit out of her body and flying around, the strange repeating of words, almost like word salad, saying that she could potentially walk on water, sounds funny and unbelievable. I get it. Of course, hearing any of this, you'll think she's faking it for the views or that she abuses drugs, but I believe it's schizophrenia. I had a friend that I grew up with that started showing signs of schizophrenia around the age of 19, Marina's age. Everything that Marina has said so far is almost word for word what my old schizophrenic friend would say. Marina even said this:
"Never have I ever died before.
I've had an out-of-body experience, so technically I've flown outside my body as a spirit.
You've flown outside your body as a spirit?"
Yeah, it's like a passed away person.
Another obvious sign is her inflated self-esteem. When some people are going through a manic episode, they show signs of inflated self-esteem where they feel like they may have a special relationship to God or some public figure. They can feel confident in embarking on some impractical invention despite their lack of any experience or talent in what they're looking to achieve. Many people, including Philip DeFranco, believes she could be abusing drugs because unnamed sources close to Marina told him so. Nearly half of all diagnosed schizophrenics in the United States abuse drugs and alcohol. I think she's telling the truth when she says she isn't on harmful drugs, but she may have been on them in the past.
I'm gonna jump now.
Oh, and now he's pandering to her insanity to get as many crazy responses from Marina that he can, so it helps him.
Alright, Marina, I want you to hold the camera.
You can do it.
I can do it? I can do it, right?
Yeah.
I can do it. I'm gonna attempt to fly. So I've got the spirits to fly, right?
Ooh, yeah.
As if he fucking needs any more subscribers. Like, this is pathetic. Just silently making fun of her right next to her to millions of people. Like, come on.
Have I ever had bruises on my arm?
Are you fucking kidding me? Was that even necessary at this point?
Never have I ever been called a goddess or a god.
I have.
Most likely going on with her, some were genuinely worried and he just laughed at her.
Woo!
Yeah!
Scarce made many videos about Marina Joyce, but this is arguably the most important one because this is one of the first interviews she ever did. She sort of answers the questions, but at the same time, not really. The video kind of speaks for itself.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and today I actually have the Marina Joyce interview. That's right, actually, if you don't know, last night I actually DM'd Marina Joyce. I asked her if we can do an interview. She said yes, and now we actually did an interview today. It's fucking awesome, and we both talked it out. It's actually so crazy. We talked about so many different conspiracy theories. Interview her. I want to see what she has to say about the whole situation. So, what's going on, Marina?
Hey, what's up?
Can you just explain to everyone if you're okay or not? Because honestly, everyone's just super scared and everyone just wants to hear it with your voice. I know you did a YouNow stream, I think a couple hours ago, and that cleared some things up. You know, just clear it up to the audience so people know what's going on.
Hey guys, I'm totally fine. I'm doing alright. Everyone's just a bit confused. And I just want to explain that everything's okay and I'm doing okay. And I love you guys and you guys are so important to me. Thank you for all the love and support. And I know that I'll never be in danger because of you guys. So thank you so much for existing and helping me out. I love you guys so much.
A lot of people have claimed that you have changed in like the last 8 months. And you say that you haven't, but has anything changed in your life the last 8 months that people should know about?
Not really, except the fact that I've grown up and just naturally I've obviously grown up and I can't help but change naturally. So I'm sorry for anyone that has thought that I've changed, but I literally haven't and I'm totally fine. So I just want to let other people know that.
Okay, in your latest video, at around 13 seconds, people like claim they hear a whisper saying, "Help me." Was that actually real? Like, was there any type of whisper there?
There was a whisper there. It was my mum saying, pointing something out.
That was the finger of the camera?
Yeah, that was.
I see.
That wasn't.
All right.
Help me or anything. It was literally a fine situation.
And in your latest video, okay, this might be a really hard one to explain, but this is the thing that I think everyone is the most freaked out about. There's like little bruises on the back of your arm. At least that's what a lot of people think they are. And a lot of people want to know what's going on with that. You know what I mean?
I tripped over in a forest because I like to go for walks and I had quite a bad fall. So it was really upsetting for that to happen. But yeah, I just tripped in the forest. And yeah, it's quite a sad thing that happened. That was just that I tripped over. But it was just that I fell over and it was nothing else, basically. And I love you guys.
And also, you have been, there's been some tweets, like you've been liking a lot of supportive tweets, but you also liked a few tweets of people saying that you might have been abused.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's something that's freaking a lot of us out.
I liked any tweets. I might have pressed like on some tweets by accident because I was trying to like all my tweets. But I pressed like on some of the tweets by accident.
Pretty weird, and honestly, I don't really understand it that well. In one of your videos, I think it's called Dear Future Me, in this video, the description says, "This video is about let's keep speaking, mister, I love you so much." And actually, the description of that video, "Mister, I love you so much" or something, is some like film about a serial killer or something, and that was like a lot of people...
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's
not true.
That's not?
No.
Oh, okay. Repeating words a lot in your videos. Is that just because you just do that a lot now, or what's going on with that?
I don't know. I just don't know. I just maybe because I do that naturally. I just naturally do that. So.
Now my video was very poorly done. I was recording the gameplay and the commentary at the same time, as opposed to the commentary over the gameplay. So half my attention was on the game and half my attention was talking. So most of the time, I would not even really be focusing on what I was talking about. I would be focusing on the game. And I would consider this to be my first commentary video. I did make commentary videos before this one, but they generally were so poor that I deleted most of them. So I'd consider this one to be my first commentary video. It was by no means professional. I barely knew what I was doing. I was just kind of doing it, just kind of going along. I was still really new to editing, really new to YouTube, all in all. So yeah, I just kind of went with it, and it shows, that's for sure. Now the video was uploaded, I believe, on the 29th, so it's not technically 2 years old. It's 1 year and 364 days. Not quite as catchy though.
Guys, you won't believe how many times I've messed up on this video. 5. So anyway, hello everybody, my name is Epic, and welcome to the Marina Joyce situation, I guess is what you could call it. So basically what's gone down is YouTuber by the name of Marina Joyce starts acting weird, right?
As you can tell, my worst enemy on YouTube has always been audio problems. It seems like that's always been the case, especially considering microphones as well. Very recently, I've gotten this Blue Yeti microphone, but it's always been audio. That's always been my main problem with YouTube, my YouTube videos, is my audio is always absolute dog shit, and you can tell that's the case here too. The gameplay's too loud, the microphone barely works, I'm way too close to the microphone, I'm not emphasizing words enough. It's just a goddamn mess.
Freaking out, thinking she's been kidnapped by ISIS or something, right? But fun fact is, it gets worse because smaller YouTubers start making videos on it, and then it just blows up because bigger YouTubers start making videos on it, and everybody begins to talk about it. People are making videos about it. A tweet starts trending.
So another issue with this video is I got all my information from Leafy's video. I didn't do any digging, didn't do any research, which this video is kind of justice for that, because back then I didn't research it enough, and now I'm going to research it a lot from multiple sources to try and piece together, to try and get some sort of answer, some sort of end to this story.
It's fast growing, but I know that's like 5 times that. And so people really start to it spreads like wildfire, and by the end of not yesterday but the day before, everybody and their grandmother was talking about it. So basically, after it all starts to die down or something, she makes a video, right? And well, not her, but it's believed to be her, and it's something along the lines of, "Don't come." She says this, "Don't come. It's a setup. Don't come. It's a setup." So people really start to get concerned.
Now people might ask if I'm embarrassed by this video. In videos typically like this, you would think so. They're kind of cringy, they're not really good, they're awkward. And although those things are true, I'm not really that embarrassed by this video, and I'm definitely not going to delete it because it's like history for my channel. I do think it's very important for my channel's history, so I think this relic is going to stay up for the many years to come.
Well, she says she's fine. Nothing's happened. And it was all just a big misunderstanding. Except, why did you tweet out of this? It didn't, so things weren't adding up, right? So let me tell you guys my honest opinion on this whole situation. And I'm sure it's going to be a pretty unpopular one, and this video is probably going to get lots of dislikes. But in my strongest opinion, it's fake.
So yes, back then I thought this whole ordeal was fake, blown out of proportion. She did it to get subscribers. And although it would seem like that, now that I've done more research, I believe it's more complicated than that. I think it's way more complicated than it's just fake or it's just real. I think it's a lot more complicated than that. Also, the video didn't get any dislikes at all.
Say for example, you're in a town, right? And there's a really nice fast food place. But you don't realize that, and you start to get hungry. But it's not because of that, you just, get hungry. And you're like, "Oh man, I want to go eat at that fast food place, but I don't want to say it out loud." So you're like, "Oh man, I'm so hungry."
I still to this day have no idea what kind of metaphor I was trying to portray here. I genuinely don't know what I was talking about.
Basically, what I think happened was what did happen to her. In my strongest opinion, what I believe is most likely is that she broke up with her boyfriend, or something like along the lines of that, about a month ago. So when she started getting a bit of attention, she thought, well, I can do more with this. So after she gets some attention, she realizes, I can make this bigger. So she starts to she starts to act even weirder than before. But the first time she's acting, like how she acted sort of weird, was really her in some sort of trauma. But afterwards, when it got worse and worse, that was her acting. Do you see what I'm going with here?
Ignoring the broken English and the complex argument I'm trying to make, I essentially see what I was going with here. I was essentially saying she broke up with her boyfriend, and that kind of changed her personality. She started acting a little weird. And once she started getting that attention, she started amplifying that weirdness, started doing a bunch of crazy shit to get publicity.
And she just capitalized. She realized she'd get attention and opportunity and more subscribers. And she was already getting a bit because of her trauma, so she's like, I can turn this trauma into something bigger. I can turn this trauma into drama. And that's what she does. And that's why she's gained so many subscribers. And that's my honest opinion. That's what I think. That's what I think, at least. So I'm not saying it's all fake. I'm just saying when she went through the trauma, people started noticing her, so she made it bigger. That's what I think happened. So yeah, it's probably going to be a very unpopular opinion, but that's sincerely what I think.
All in all, for an early commentary video of mine, it's not nearly as bad as a lot of the others were. Definitely flawed, and the argument is confusing, and there's a lot of broken English, because I was playing the game and trying to make an argument at the exact same time. But all in all, for an early commentary video of mine, not too bad. So in March of 2017, she finally addressed it. She finally addressed saving Marina Joyce. And she answered some of the questions, but there are still some ends that are not quite tied yet. So I'm going to go over her response and just kind of edit it into highlights of the most important parts, and then I'm going to have a dialogue for the last part of this video.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be addressing saving Marina Joyce. I want to tell you how I was feeling during the situation. I can see now that I had changed in a way that was noticeable to you all. I did change, gradually and slowly. But something happened to me which took a turn for the worse. It came to the point that I could barely hold a conversation anymore. My mind had been so messed around with. You could see it in the way I moved, the way I spoke, the way I acted. Just who I was in general wasn't the person I used to be. I was really happy that people were concerned about me. Can we take a minute to think about how destructive my life was? When I started to think about what I had to say to you, I started crying because a really traumatic experience happened to me that I kind of want to explain to you all. All these videos that you watched about me, about people guessing what happened to me, I think if you see somebody saying something horrible about somebody, that just shows you who that person is. I simply don't want you to believe any of the conspiracy theories because none of them are true, and I can promise you that. It's always best to believe the truth directly from the person themselves. The reason why I did not give you an answer before was because I was not in the right mindset to give you one. I had to get better to give you an answer. So this is why I've waited so long to tell you the truth. My mind was in such a haze back then, I barely knew I was changing, but I did understand that I was going through a horrible time. One of the most horrible times of my life, but I didn't tell anyone. I lived in isolation of what happened to me, of people not understanding truly what I was going through, people observing from everywhere, second guessing, misunderstanding. Luckily, there was people that actually cared about me, and that was all of you. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say that I've never felt more cared about in my whole entire life. The bruises said it all. That was the point where people started to understand that something serious was going on. I'm glad you will notice because I was going through a really rough time, and the fact that people made saving Marina Joyce a trend was actually the reason why I decided to become better. My mind was filled with thoughts that was destroying my personality, and then it eventually stripped me from my personality completely. This was a very hard time for me. Because these thoughts particularly stopped me from having a functioning mind, I didn't even know how to hold a proper conversation with anyone anymore. I was just quiet, suffering in silence.
Very interesting indeed. All of the videos I've used in this video will be all linked in the description in the order they appeared in. Do be sure to check them out so you can get some more information. All I did was show highlights of them. She never really said what was wrong with her, what experience was going on. She did say that she was in a bad mindset and a lot of bad thoughts going through her mind and a traumatic experience happened. So I guess I was kind of right back then because I did say a traumatic experience happened. So partially correct. Now there are parts where she said all of the conspiracy theories about her were lies, and I will agree with that for the most part. I'm sure most of them are lies. But the issue is she kind of lied as well too. I get she wasn't in a good mindset. That's why she lied about it, saying that she was fine, when in reality she wasn't. She might have even genuinely thought at the time she was fine, but she did lie too, so really everything is still kind of unclear. And looking back now, what do I think? Well, I do think she was genuine. I don't think she was faking it anymore like I used to. I was right back then saying that it was a traumatic experience, so yes, I do believe it in fact was a traumatic experience that genuinely messed with her. I will agree with what she says for the most part. I do believe her for the most part, but I still think there's a little bit that we're missing. One thing's for sure is we don't really know what the traumatic experience was. Was it like what I originally said, like maybe a breakup? Could be, who knows, but what do you think happened? What do you think happened with Marina Joyce after watching this video? Go down and go through all the videos I have in the description, do a little bit of digging, and tell me what you think happened to her in the comments below, because I'm really not too sure either. I find it very ironic, even 2 years after it happened, we still don't have some answers for some questions. And maybe that's how it's going to be forever. Who knows? Regardless, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and comment down below what you think happened to her after doing some research. It's pretty interesting, and hopefully it will make it's a good topic for a video on the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this.